What's up YouTube? If you're new here, my name is Lillian, and if you're not, welcome back to my channel. This video will be covering everything I wish I knew before using FlipaClip. FlipaClip is an animation app designed for mobile devices that allows users to create 2D animations, frame by frame. This is a map of all the tools you'll see when you open your first project. Stick around to the end of the video where I will rate the app and tell you if I plan to use it again. Alright, so let's get right into the video. To begin, I'll show you the animation that I used just as practice. Yep. So what I did, I just pressed the play button, and you can tap on the screen to stop. But I want to take it all the way back because I want to show you everything. I want to show you how to open up a project if you are new. This is a super duper beginner friendly guide to FlipaClip. So when you first open up the app, if you look on the very bottom of the screen, you'll see a red button with a plus sign in the middle. If you tap that, this is how you can create your first project. You can write in your project name. We'll name this YouTube. You can change the background with presets that they have in FlipaClip. I think that's really neat. You can change the color. You can import your own image, and you can just take a picture of something and use it as a background as well. You can also change your canvas size. Right now it's set to 720 pixels, but you can change that to the highest resolution, which is 2K. And you can change the frames per second. Right now it's set to 12 frames per second, but if you click on that, it shows you what 12 frames per second looks like. And I like the fact that you can toggle it to maybe 3 frames per second to see how that would look versus what 30 frames per second would look like. And that looks really smooth, but it takes a lot more drawings to achieve this look. So I'm going to stick with 8 frames per second, which would mean it takes 8 frames to make 1 second. Alright, I'm going to go back, and I'm not going to create a project. I already got one set, so I'm going to click that X, and I'm going to open up the project that I have already created. Now, I want to share the things that I wish I knew when I first started using FlipaClip. The first 2 things to note is the location of the copy and paste tool, because they will come in handy. If you look at the top of the screen, you will see the copy and the paste. You can click on the copy and you can either add a layer and paste onto a new layer. Now let's double click the lasso tool. That'll select it and show you. So that's on another layer. Or, and before I move forward, tap using 2 fingers to undo, tap using 3 fingers to redo. Alright, if you have something copied, you scroll to the end and you click to add a frame, which you'll do at the bottom with the plus button there at the bottom. It will paste whatever you have copied. Alright, so I'm going to use 2 fingers to undo. Now, when you undo and redo, it only undoes and redos what you have drawn or what you have on the stage. It will not get rid of a frame. In order to get rid of a frame, you will have to hold on to that frame and click the trash can. Other functions that are there when you hold onto a frame are the first button is creating a blank frame before the frame that you have selected. I'll do that, and then I'll hold on to it again. And the last function is to paste a blank frame after what you have selected, so I'll do that. And if you hold on to it again, there's one more function there, which is the copy. So you can copy, and it gives you other icons. You can paste before or after this frame. Now, another way that you can manipulate the frames, you can click the top right menu and you can click Frames Viewer. In the Frames Viewer, you can select all the frames with this button here. And if you would like to add blank frames, you can click on the button next to that one there, and you can add a blank frame at the beginning or at the end. Now let me click X. Another thing that you can do is just click on that button there, and you can add blank frames in between all of the frames that you have. If you want to delete the 2 frames that we just added, you can just hold on to the frame and click on another frame and hit the trash can button at the bottom. Yep, just some good things to note. To fully erase on the first stroke, you want to make sure if you are using the eraser brush that the opacity is set at 0. I can't tell you why. Oh, let's make sure we're in the right layer. And I'm going to toggle off the onion skin and erase the eyes. Now, I'm not sure why that is, but just to show you what will happen if you don't have it at 0 opacity, it makes it a little bit more difficult to erase completely. And I can see that maybe being convenient for certain things, but it's not something that I need. You can also just change the eraser brush to something else and it should be able to erase completely on the first try. Now, let's say you want to delete a frame. Now you can hold on to the frame and hit the trash can button, or what you can do if you're just trying to erase what is on the frame is double tap the lasso tool and remove it from the stage. Anything that you remove from the stage deletes. Now, let's say you want to delete a layer. You'll see that I have 2 layers here. And before I move forward, you can move layers around by clicking those 3 lines on the left, and you can change the order of the layer, and you can also merge the layers by putting one on top of the other. I don't need that. But let's say you want to delete a layer. You would swipe right and hit the trash can, but you do get a warning message. If you delete a layer, you will get a warning message that the layer will delete across all frames. I have not found value in this feature yet, but it is something to be aware of, and I think it's great that they give you the warning that the action cannot be undone, but I love the ability to undo this action as well as have the option to not do things across all frames. We're not going to get rid of it, but it's just something to be aware of. Alright, let's move forward. Now let's say you want to make the perfect shape. To do so, you'll see the ruler at the top of the screen, and right now it's grayed out, but if you click on the brush tool, it'll appear. You can click on that ruler, and things that you can do with the ruler are create straight lines, horizontal, vertical, and diagonal. Undo, undo, undo. And if you click on it, it'll take you right back to the initial setting. And you can make the perfect circle. So let's say, make a circle around this guy. Now let's say you want to make a smaller circle, maybe a third eye. You can zoom in, you would pinch with your fingers, you can zoom in and it will decrease the size of the anchor point and you can make a smaller circle. You would just zoom back out and click on the ruler to toggle it off, and that's a big eye, but yeah, it worked. So let's undo, undo. Now let's say that you decide that you want to play around with the size of the circle that you're making, or the oval in this case, but you want to go take it back to the perfect circle. You would just tap on the circle and it'll reset the settings. And all the same rules apply for the square tool. Let's put a square around this guy. And beneath the square tool, you have the mirror tool. So you can make a mirrored image. Alright, and we can toggle that off by clicking on the ruler. Let's see, so we went through the brush, the eraser, the lasso tool, which I'm very fond of. Let me show you one more thing with the lasso tool. If you select the lasso tool and you select something, let's say we're going to select the arm. A feature that I think FlipaClip got right is the anchor point and being able to move that anchor point. With this, you can do a lot of puppeting maybe, and it's just a good tool when it comes to animating because you can move along the joints. So also with that selection tool, so let's say I use the lasso, I select something on the screen or on the frame, you can transform what you have selected, make it a little really tiny or really large, or you can rotate it. Something to note is if you decide to skew, it will undo your transformation. So it's just something to keep in mind. I wish it didn't do that. I think it would be cool if you can rotate when you are in skew mode, but right now that is not something that you're capable of doing, so just be mindful. But to skew, you would just move points around and you can kind of change the perspective of whatever you have selected. Yep, and let's select again. You can also use the mirror function, so you can mirror along the y-axis and you can mirror along the, I said mirror. You can flip along the y-axis and you can flip along the x-axis. And you can also delete from there as well. So another way to delete. Next you have the fill bucket, and this is how you would fill in color. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but just for the sake of this tutorial, I said it's going to cover as much as I can think of. So that percentage there is the threshold, which is how much it will fill. In case you're someone that maybe leaves gaps in between your drawings, that's something that would be very helpful. Let's see where we can use this function. I used it for the throat there, so let's say I want to change that color to this blue. You can change the color of the, you can change the fill color. Let's say we'll use purple, and let's just try to, yeah, so maybe I decrease it and it covers less, or maybe I go into the eye and I make them purple. But see how it's not fully filled in? If I increase the threshold to 100 and it's a closed shape, hopefully, for some reason it covers the whole screen. That happens pretty often. Let me decrease it a little bit, and that works perfectly. All right, and the last tool there is the text tool, also pretty self-explanatory. Not even gonna do too much with that one. At the bottom here you'll see the music note. You can add audio, and I don't have audio on this animation, but there is audio on this animation here. Hello. So yeah, the audio function. Let's see. And at the bottom here, this button will take you to the first frame. The button to the right will take you to the last frame, and then you have the play button to play the whole animation. If you have, wherever you put the playhead, or whatever frame you have selected, when you press play and you tap on a screen, it'll take you right back to that frame. And let me show you why that's good. So say you have a long animation like this one, and I just kind of want to focus on this part here. I don't want to touch on this scene or the scene after it. So I will start at the beginning of this portion. I would press play, and as soon as it gets to the next scene, I would tap the screen and it will take me right back to the beginning of the portion that I'm trying to focus on. So that's why that is convenient. And let's see, is there anything that I'm missing? I feel like this covers the gist, the basics that I think are important to know when you are maybe first getting started with using the app. If you can think of any more tips worth noting, please drop them in the comments below. So if you click on the 100% right there, you can toggle on and off what you see on the layer. I'm not even going to get into these settings here because I think they kind of go a little bit further beyond the beginner friendly basics that I plan to cover, and I really didn't touch on, I really didn't utilize these settings much when I was playing around in FlipaClip, so maybe I'll learn it and make it another video. So yeah, you can toggle on and off the grid, toggle on and off the onion skins. You can change the project settings while you're in the project. That's a good feature to have. You can add an image, you can add a video, and you can export. So the export, you can click this button here, and you can kind of change the settings if need be, change the format if need be, and you can just click make movie, or you can click on the menu here and click make movie, and it'll bring up those same settings. Now we're at the end of the video. I touched the majority of what there is to know in this app and what I wish I knew before using FlipaClip, and I know I left some things off, and maybe I'll make a second video covering the things that I left off, but hopefully I covered the basics for you all. And if there's anything else that you would like to know or would like to share, just drop a comment below. As always, thanks for watching. I did say that I would rate this app and tell you all if I would use this app again, and I will live up to that promise. So I give this app a 6.8. And the reason being is because I use a lot of, I have used my fair share of animating apps, and I think this is a great app to do the basics. And I think it's really great that you can animate on your phone using this app. Not all apps have that capability. And I think they have a great community. I think it's awesome that apparently you can get on Discord and make suggestions to the app creators or developers. So I think that's really cool. They have competitions and festivals that encourage you to use their app and make some creations and get the chance to, you know, earn prizes as well as add work to your portfolio and whatnot. So it's a great app overall. So with that being said, I'm gonna bump the rating up to a 7 off of that alone. Now, is this an app that I would use again? If you have looked at my previous content, you know that I am a Procreate girly and I'm comfortable where I'm at. I don't know. Right now in the stage of the animations that I'm doing, I don't feel a need to really transition to a new animation app. However, I'm glad to have this in my arsenal. It is $30 a year, which is not bad at all, but there are cheaper animation apps that are not subscription based. So that's just something that I have to keep in mind. But they do have a free version. There's another thing. The frames are kind of funny. I'm just going to say this. This is the last thing I'm going to say, and then we're going to wrap this up. So I guess I have to show. Let me show you in the previous. So like with this, I drew. Let's see. Let's go where we have the alien and Cooper. I had to draw Cooper on one frame, the alien on one frame, the color on one frame, and I don't think there's any issue with that, but it's a little funny there. It's a little funny how that works because it's limiting is all I'll say. I don't think that's a good description. Maybe I'll cut this part out, but I just think it's kind of limiting to, well, you're limited to 12 layers, so that's one thing, and along with having that limitation, I don't know, it forces you to organize. So I think that's a good thing. But I wish there were more frames. You could use more frames maybe. But yeah, I think that covers everything. Once again, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know if you want to see more FlipaClip content, because I think it's a great app. And I know I said that I probably wouldn't use it, but maybe I just gotta get the hang of it and see all the power that this app holds. Maybe a little bit more experience in the app will make me change my mind. Alright, well, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.